The 20% drop in profits is discretionary investment, and we have seen return already in 2009. The investment of profit has been returned by a very strong growth in customer acquisition number. So we have year-on-year growth more than 40% on new customer acquisition. And our deferred revenue also grow more than 40%, which is a strong indication of next year's GAAP revenue growth. And for next year, we should see more return on our investment. We will continue to see return on the customer growth, and we will see a strong rebound in our profit.
I know your business is still largely tied to China's export sector, and founder Ma Yun made that famous projection that the economic winter was coming. Where does this company see China's export sector going forward?
At the end of Q1, we already forecast that in Q4 we should see a neutral performance, which we did. The November number is almost a neutral. But we will see further growth in Q1 2010. Another evidence is the import number released recently. The November import number grew by 26% year-on-year. And most of the imported products are not for domestic consumption. They are the OEM, ODM, raw material or parts. That means manufacturers in China got orders in hand already and given them confidence to build inventory for parts and raw material. That's why we confidently believe Q1 2010 will be a good quarter for positive growth year-on-year.
That's a very interesting interpretation of China's import numbers. But I do want to ask you, do you think China's export sector is ever going to get back to where it was in 2007? Yes,
I think 2010 will be the similar level of 2007 number. Exporter will no longer be a strong contributor to China's GDP growth. However, it will also say goodbye to this year's performance, which is dragging down the GDP growth. So next year, 2010, I believe, Chinese exporter sector's contribution to GDP growth will again be neutral. And the GDP growth in China 2010 will be fueled by stronger domestic consumption and infrastructure investment. You're talking about China's domestic consumption. I was just about to ask you, there's a lot of talk about this global rebalancing. There's a lot of hope that the Chinese consumer will have to consume more. How is your company positioned to benefit from that trend? I think Alibaba.com, together with our sister companies, Taobao.com and Alipay.com, three of us together, we have been well positioned to seize the opportunity from domestic retail boom. Educate us a little bit. What does Taobao and Alipay do? Alipay got 240 million accounts, which is bigger than the largest bank in China in terms of individual bank accounts. It's an online payment and escrow service provider.